Either you are or you're not. Either way, given time, it's going to show. I was kind of quiet up in here. Brother Jasper, will you stop my car? Because I don't mind running. Because when I fought in a gang, we fought or we ran to fight another day. So if I got to run, I'm going to run. I'm going to finish mashing these potatoes. Once your innocence is gone, you want some gravy? Especially in the area of sex, you can't get it back. Sure, God can save and sanctify you and you can overcome, but you're never quite the same once you've been touched or engaged in adult behavior reserved for marriage before you're old enough and before you're married. Ask me how I know. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt and the scarf to show for it. One sexual encounter of being touched inappropriately can cost you a lifetime of heartache or pain. I've been so high and drunk that I went next to people, and when I woke up and someone I was next to, I wonder how in the world I've been next to. I must have been drunk. Because if I was sober, yeah, back then, people used to refer to me as, you the dog, you the man, dog. You the man. And my little chest would stick up. The reality is I wasn't the man. I was an irresponsible boy. That's right. If it wasn't for the grace of God, I could have been dead. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing, but that's all right. I can think of several scenarios where others have done the same thing I did, only to end up dead, robbed, molested or raped, or to wake up in a bathtub full of ice with a note saying, "Do not move, call the emergency room because your kidneys are gone." That's right. Y'all remember them days? Come on, older folks, I think y'all know what I'm talking about. This is what Solomon meant by why the evil days come not, or the years run nigh, when we shall say, "I have no pleasure in them." When you fail to remember God in your youth, you are inviting evil or evil times to come into your life, and there's no guarantee that, like me, you will come out alive or have the opportunity to ever be saved. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm simply trying to spare you. I'm trying to spare you by letting you know that contrary to what the world would have you to believe, you are not missing out as much as you think. To be frank with you, a lot of times like in the world, some of the stuff we told are lies. That's right. The more we talk, the more you listen, the better it sounds. All your friends aren't having sex. All your friends are not doing drugs. And even if they were, it doesn't mean that you have to do it. If your friend is dumb enough to run in front of a truck and take a chance of being killed, it doesn't mean that you have to be that dumb to do it also. You better start thinking for yourself. You better start rationalizing your decisions. I'm not saying don't have fun. By all means, you're at the age where you ought to have you a blast. But you could have fun and be holy at the same time. Don't let these adults around here walk like they've been sucking lemons fool you that salvation ain't fun. Salvation is fun. I'm having a blast. I'm having a time of my life. I can wave my hands in the air and act like I just don't care. Because if anybody write my life story, they will have to admit that Jesus has been good to me. I'm almost done. I'm trying to finish, y'all. Give me 5 more minutes. Thank you all. Solomon was right. Because sin or sinful lifestyle has a way of taking the temporal pleasures you may enjoy for a season and turning them into a nightmare. That like Solomon, myself, and others, you will confess and say, I have no pleasure in them. You think that the guy is Denzel Washington, when in reality he's Frankenstein. You think she's Halle Berry or Beyonce, when in reality she's just some fiction of the imagination somebody the devil has set by with the right hips, the right bust size, the right curves in the right place, the skirt, above the knee, with the split in the appropriate place, or inappropriate if you say, only to suck you in. And what they're not telling you, like Proverbs said, is that many folks have passed through there and are in hell right now. I'm 51 years old, and many of the guys I played football with, partied with, Joseph Petey's dead, Nick Friday is dead, Hawkins, third gold is dead. One young lady is dead. You told me about she was selling herself on the street. My classmates are falling like flies. My God. And the question is, it's not because their sinful lifestyle killed them. That's not the issue I'm concerned about. My issue I'm concerned about is that many of them did not remember God when they were young. So rather than passing from hell in this world and going to a place of eternal bliss or heaven, they're going from hell to a greater hell. Y'all ain't gonna like me. Young folks, y'all still love me? Because I sure love you all. But I gotta help you. I'm almost done. In other words, 5 minutes of sexual pleasure, temporal buzz or high from an alcoholic beverage, marijuana, crack, or sniffing or inhaling fumes from an aerosol spray can is not worth it. It may end up leaving you like me 31 years ago, wishing I was dead and having no desire to live. My God. Or like another person we grew up with, Joseph, you might not remember him, he might be a few years younger, but he was a football star by the name of Delroy. Delroy was a football star. He could have played college football. Delroy joined the Navy and got involved in selling or smuggling drugs. I don't know what went down, but somebody either slipped a Mickey. Young folks, that's a drug in their drink. Right. Or give him some bad drugs. Wow. And last I heard, this was 10, 15 years ago, Delroy was a paraplegic. My God. He was 3 or 4 years ahead of me in school. And so therefore, before I left home, he was back home in a wheelchair, paralyzed from his neck down. Sin. Somebody says sin. Sin. It's not your friend. It's not your friend. It's your biggest enemy. And while I agree as I close, nope, I got one more thing before I close. But the slogan by the Negro College, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, I don't think they went far enough. A life is a terrible thing to waste. Amen. As I close, I'll tell you this story about a fellow by the name of Reverend Dwight Moody, one of the greatest evangelists of our time. Reverend Moody was asked by a reporter, said, Reverend Moody, how many souls got saved last night? And he responded, 2.5. The reporter, assuming that he meant 2 children and 1 adult, or 2 adults and 1 child, responded, so 2 adults and 1 child got saved. And Reverend Moody said, nope. 2 children and 1 adult got saved. The point being, by the time the adult got saved, he or she had wasted most of their lives. So they only had half left. But you young people have the rest of your life to serve Jesus. And you can serve him from now until eternity. Let us stand.